spreading rumors. Patrick Mooney from The Athletic and Northside Territory co-host with Sahadev Sharma. Mooney putting this out. The Cubs are open to negotiating an in-season contract extension for Pete Crow-Armstrong. So apparently talks surfaced last month. Obviously they asked Pete and he's just like, yeah, I'm here to ball. Some comps here. Corbin Carroll signed an 8-year, 111 extension, but that was, I think, with less games under his belt. I was looking at Jackson Merrill without doing a total comp on games played, but I think there's more of a similarity there in terms of how far into his big league career. Maybe Merrill was a drop ahead, but those guys are different ball players, yet will stack up war, young, super athletic center fielders that you want to have on your team for the next decade. My two questions, AJ. Number one, would you want Pete Crow-Armstrong worrying about this during his breakout season? And number two, would you take it? Ken Rosenthal just said, just play ball and worry about it in the offseason, if anything, because he's establishing his value right now. There are other people that are like, this dude's been doing this for 2 months and has an opportunity to make $100+ million. Go for it. What do you think?
I'd tell him to hold off right now. I'd tell him to wait till the end of the year. If he believes in himself, then you gamble on yourself, and at the end of the year, that value is only going to go up. Of course, the team wants to do a contract right now because they can get him cheaper. If he goes and he continues to play the way he's playing right now, which is, for me, like I said yesterday, he's MVP of the National League. You can make that argument right now. I know Shohei and whatever with his home runs, but you look at PCA's defense, home runs, stolen bases, all that, you can make that argument, especially for a good Cubs team that he kind of came out of nowhere on. So if I'm him, I play this year out and continue to do what I'm doing. If you believe it's real, you finish it, and guess what? Your value only goes like this. Because it's another year under your belt, and you've proven you can do it for a full year. So if he waits, he can get more. And if they're willing to negotiate now, they'll be willing to negotiate in the offseason.
In a player's psyche, if you're sitting there going, ooh, I hope I don't get hurt, you ain't going to have a good season anyway. No player is sitting there going, oh, I hope I don't get hurt. I need to sign this contract. If that's what he's thinking, yeah, whatever they're offering, you go out and you take that deal. He's 23 years old. He's got the world at his fingertips right now. The way he's playing, his value only goes up every single day because it looks like his WAR goes up like 0.2 every game. He steals bases. He plays elite defense in a premium position. Oh, and don't forget, his team is winning. So there's a lot that he's adding to his value every single day that he waits. Of course, the Cubs would love to sign him. Cubs, if you want to sign him, it's going to have to be more than what you think because he's in it right now. He's in the fire, and I doubt he would sign something right now unless it's monstrous.
AJ, I thought that you take your first massive deal so that you're secured.
You do.
And then
you do.
Okay.
You do in an offseason before you're potentially the most valuable player in the league. Yeah, if this was the offseason and they would have went to him and said, hey, here's $100 million, would he have taken it? I think he would have taken it and ran. But this ain't the offseason anymore, and he's already putting up numbers this year. He's going to be on the All-Star team unless something crazy happens. They're probably going to go to the postseason unless something crazy happens. All this does is add value. His defense isn't going anywhere unless something crazy happens, right? He's going to play Gold Glove center field. He's going to win a Gold Glove. Right now, he's probably going to win a Silver Slugger. He's going to make the All-Star team. They're going to be in the postseason. Guess what? Check, 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 check. Every one of those checks makes the check go bigger, bigger, bigger.
Okay, let me present this from the Cubs front office. Pete, we understand what you're saying. We are going to pay you as if you are going to project out what you're doing for the first 2 months into the next 4 months of the season. We get it. We believe you. We'd just like to see if this is a thing that we can get done. So we'll offer you the same deal that Jackson Merrill was just offered. No,
right now, if you want to offer him something that he would take and it would go in line with what AJ's saying about, you take your first deal, buy up a year of free agency. Like that's, to me as a player, with all those things in line, with all those things the way he's going to continue to pursue this year, like I'll take it. I'll take, some guaranteed money before I reach free agency. If you want to buy 1 year free agency, or you want to just buy up my arbitration years and maybe one team option at an MVP rate, then I'd think about it, but not a 10-year Jackson Merrill type of deal.
Okay. How about I go up from the Jackson Merrill deal and I offer you a Julio Rodriguez contract? Hold on. So this was 2022. He signed it in late August after 240 games in the big leagues. If someone can look up how many games for Pete, I know it's less than that right now. Julio was guaranteed 12 years, $210 million. At the time, that sounded massive. It's crazy how quickly the numbers changed. He has player and club options in that deal, but it was basically a 7-year extension through 2029, but it can be pushed all the way through the 2039 season, and it could go as high as 17 years, over $470 million if, he gets an MVP finishes, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I like to look at the guarantee. If I said 12, 210, there's all kinds of fancy options in there. Is that something that you could play ball with? Kratz, did you find the games played for PCA?
191.
Okay, so actually pretty close. Pretty close. Would you take the J-Rod deal if you're Pete Crow-Armstrong? That's over $200 million. How much more are you getting in the offseason? I mean, a lot of this is played off of comps.
J-Rod's deal, I think, is a great deal for PCA. The other issue that the Cubs are going to run into, no idea, what kind of money you had before, but he's first rounder, so he's not sitting there going, "Ooh, I'm hard up for some cash." He can wait a little bit. That'll be against the Cubs, not in the Cubs' favor, but man, 210 guaranteed with those escalators that would keep him a Cub for life. Maybe, but that's a big. The Cubs don't go that high, in my opinion. But
no, agreed. He'd probably take that if he could get that deal right now. He'd probably take it. But the Cubs ain't gonna go there. The Cubs ain't gonna go there. If the Cubs go there, the difference is Julio Rodriguez was the face of the Mariners. The face. I mean, the ultimate face. Like, he's the face of everything. Adidas, T-Mobile, the All-Star game, all that, right? And the Mariners knew that, so they wanted to lock him up. Pete Crow-Armstrong right now, the Cubs ain't going to go there. They're just not. Would they? No, but Ricketts ain't going to go there. I'm sorry.
Hold up. Let me also just drop the Jackson Merrill contract extension, which was signed on April 2nd, right when the season started. 9 years, $135 is the guarantee. It can max out at $204 million. There's a $30 million club option for a 10th season in there. Ken, in one of his articles, said some people thought he probably left 150 to 200 million on the table, but that's if he gets to free agency. You look at the story of Jackson Merrill, that's pretty cool. So wait, hold up. I have two counters here. Number one, why can't he be the face of the Cubs for the next?
He can be.
Whatever amount of years. I mean, they're probably not going to re-sign Kyle Tucker, so wouldn't this be a good way to get the job done? He's charismatic. We've had him on our show. He's a great interview. He's got different types of hair, right? He's like fun. He stands out on the field. He does everything right. He's an all-out player. He plays really insane defense, like top of the league. Runs, pops here this year. What would prevent him from being the face versus J-Rod? Yeah.
Right now it's Tucker, because the Cubs fans want him to re-sign Tucker. They're not going to re-sign both these. So guess what? If you're Pete Crow-Armstrong, they lose Tucker, guess what it does to your – you got him. They're going to have to sign somebody. I equate this to when Mark Burley left the White Sox free agency. Granted, it was a long time ago, after 2011. Jerry Reinsdorf goes, I won't sign a 5-year deal to a pitcher. Burley signs in Miami for 5 years. Guess what they do? They sign John Danks to a 5-year deal because everyone's like, why the hell didn't they sign Burley? Oh, well, he signed a pitcher. It was John Danks, right? So if Tucker walks out the door and Pete Crow-Armstrong throws up this monster year, he's just going to say, hey, look at me. It's my turn now.
Okay. So hold on. I'm still trying to get a deal done right now. 9-135 was for Merrill. 12-210 was for J-Rod. I'm going to go in between but closer to J-Rod. I'm going to give you 10 years, and I'm going to give you $190 million in guaranteed. There'll be some other fun little bits in there, but 10 years, 190 right now. You're turning that down. 2 months ago, if I told you that, you'd be like, you're insane.
This ain't my money. It ain't my job to turn it down. It's his. And he's got people telling him. Kratz tell him.
I don't think he turns that down, but I also think the Cubs see maybe his plate discipline, maybe the fact that he might be more of like a 250 with a 300 on base percentage guy. They're not paying that much for defense. The consistent part of his game is defense. Does speed age well? No. Does his body type say his speed is going to age well? No. Is his defense going to age well? Yeah. To me, if he's going to win a Gold Glove, he has a chance of winning a Gold Glove for 7 more years. So again, yes, I like the 190. He takes the 190. He would be. I think he takes that if that's the deal. Again, though, if you really want to get this done, it's not about how long he's there for the Cubs. It's about locking up some of these guaranteed years so that if he does fall into the MVP this year, if Shohei doesn't hit 65 home runs, then you don't have to pay him as an MVP because then you're just going to go year to year from here on out.
The weather is warming up, and with that being said, you need to check out what Rhoback is bringing to the table. If you're a golfer, especially, and you're looking for golf shirts that just have the perfect style and also are soft, they're lightweight, and perfect for the summertime, Rhoback is the spot. Of course, FT's hooking you up with a code for 20% off at rhoback.com. That's FOUL on RHOBACK.com for 20% off all shorts, hoodies, polos, and more. What would you do if you're running the Cubs right now and you're having a conversation with him and you'd like to try and get this done and not make it linger because you also don't want it to get in his head? He's doing special things for you right now.
Well, I think the most important thing for me is to try to get it done quietly. I love doing deals quietly. I don't like to have the media or have the public have any say whatsoever. I try to keep it as private as possible. And I also got to get in this guy's head a little bit. I should know him from if I'm doing my job properly. I should know this kid. I should know his makeup. Is he a winner? Is he a gamer? Is he going to bring more to the table to me than just being a really, really good player? I think when you're starting to commit these kind of years, it's not the dollars as much as it is the years. And it's probably going to take somewhere between, 7 and 10 years to lock some of these younger guys up at a reasonable price. You have to know the makeup of the player. Can he give me something more than just being a great player? Can he at some point be a great leader? Can he is he a championship type player? There's so many different factors that are associated with it. And if he is that guy, then hey, make a run at it. Try to do it quietly. Try to do it in a professional manner and see where it goes. But try not to let it linger too much because I think that's what happened to guys like Mookie Betts with the Boston Red Sox. And I know that they tried their butts off to try to get him done for many years. It lingered. It didn't get done, and it became an issue later on. And they ended up having to move him, which was not such a great idea, in my opinion. But I guess it was necessary.
All right, 2-part question. I'll give you the first part so you can answer it second and you can think about it. I need a number for what you think PCA should get or what you think his area would be. But also, before you say that, how hard is it to actually keep it quiet? Because some orgs, they just can't shut up. You hear everything.
Well, it's because you have to have the people around you not trying to get jobs in other organizations. I mean, I think what happens is some of the underlings, they want to build relationships with the media and they want to get love from them. And I think the most important thing is that you have people that are working around you and you have your concentric circles around you that you can trust are not going to open their mouths. We were fortunate to be able to do that with Cliff Lee the second time when we brought him back. And we wouldn't have signed him otherwise because we wouldn't have been able to compete with the New York Yankees at that time as far as the dollars and cents were concerned. So we had a submarine and we did so. We were fortunate to be able to get it done because so few people knew about it and we trusted the people to keep it quiet. But as far as the numbers are concerned, I mean, I mean, you're talking about well over $100 million if you're going to try to lock him up for a long period of time. And you try to get, within those parameters, you want to try to get some flexibility for your organization. What do I mean? Can you get a couple of club options out of the deal? Guarantee him the big money, whether it's between $150 and $200 million, but also give yourself a chance at the back end, 2 or 3 club options, so that, hey, if this guy's really good and he is worth it, that you can pick up those options. And if he's not, you can let him go. And I think that's that is something that is important if I am running the organization, to be able to give yourself some flexibility. Yes, it gives you some cost certainty, especially for players who are really special, but it also can give you a little bit of flexibility when you're trying to make decisions later on.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.